Want to start with a case that happened with a U.S. Air Force officer. A Florida sheriff publicly released body cam footage from a deputy who fatally shot a black airman in his home last week. Disputed claims from the victim's family that the deputy had gone to the wrong apartment. County Sheriff Eric Aiden showed the video during Thursday's news conference, shortly after an attorney for the 23-year-old airman's family called for his public release, saying the victim's girlfriend was FaceTiming with him and believes the deputy was at the wrong unit. The victim was identified by his family as Roger Fortson, an active duty service senior airman. According to attorney Ben Crump, who held a news conference earlier Thursday, Crump and Fortson's mother described him as a patriot who respected authority and hoped to buy his mother and younger siblings a house. Man, just watching that video.
Yes, just watched it.
It's like, it's kind of crazy. It's real disheartening to watch the video because it doesn't look like he came to the door. He had a firearm.
He had a firearm. He did not aim it at the police officer. He opened the door. And the cops, he shot him because I was just watching the video and I was like, yo, there's not that much time left in here. I'm like, oh, they killed him quick.
It's cut and dry. You know what I mean? Like you said, it's cut and dry. He did come to the door with a gun, but the officer was saying, I heard the officer at least say twice, he knocked on the door and said, "Sheriff's office, open the door." Open the door. And so I don't know if we want to start from where all this stemmed from. Like I guess he was called to the unit because they said there was a disturbance in the unit. A couple people said that they had heard.
They've had domestic issues before, but they said this time it was super loud and get out of hand, which was weird because if his girlfriend wasn't there, then you probably were at the wrong unit. And I'm like, did the police even go to the other unit? I mean, it's still a developing story, so we got to get all the facts. Yeah. But one thing is, as a black man, you can't answer the door with a gun in your hand when the police are there.
I mean, the one
unless
thing
you're ready to shoot them.
The one thing I can say in its favor is that we know that people, even criminals, they like to say police before they kick your door in or something else goes wrong, you know? And so him coming to the door with a gun, and it wasn't in a position for him to shoot, but at the same time, this is a police officer or anybody. When you see a gun like that, you're going to, it's going to kind of jostle you. What, you're going to give them a chance to kill you? I mean, so I understand kind of where the police officer came from, but if he came to the wrong address, or if they called and it was not, I mean, someone called the police and this was not a case of some type of domestic issue or something like that, I mean, you just killed a 23-year-old service member for no reason. Yeah. It looked like he killed him for no reason anyways, to me, to be honest with you, because he did have a gun in his hand, and I don't know if that constitutes.
Well, he wasn't aiming it at him, but I mean, I've seen dudes with other weapons in their hands get more lenient. I mean, that's different. It's different states, different police officers.
It doesn't matter, man. All that, we do that all the time. Yeah. We do that all the time. We do that for judges. We do that all the time for everybody. Oh, this happened here. This doesn't happen over here. This wouldn't have happened this way here. It's happening. Point blank, period. It's happening over and over and over again. I don't care who, where, what. It didn't, like I said, it's a hard one to kind of call so early.
Yeah. I mean, if they're at the wrong apartment, the cop's in the wrong. Because the man has a right to answer you have a right to answer your door armed, especially in certain areas in Florida. I mean, it's an open carry state. You can do whatever. And like you were saying off camera, someone could have just been knocking on the door trying to rob him.
And so, yeah, exactly. And that's the biggest thing. People have gone through that a lot, where people will say they're the police, and next thing you know, they're kicking your door, and it's happening a lot. But what I will say about the police department in this particular county is that they're handling it the right way. They brought the footage from the body cam out quickly. They're letting an outside agency handle the investigation. They're not, and so it's not.
Well, I mean, the whole thing, it was, if you look at it, it's a justified shooting. They may have had the wrong door, but he answered the door with a firearm. Now, the cop, he never presented himself in front of the door, which is probably a safety thing.
For them too as well. And so it's how do you get around these things? Yeah. This is what they're going to have to figure out. How do we get around?
I mean, I've seen worse. I mean, could just been an accident, It could. I mean, honestly,
like an accident to have happened, though. I mean, somebody to lose their life.
Yeah,
that's a tough.
Well, I mean, don't answer I mean, it's a weird case. I've seen worse where cops just shoot people regularly, and those are like, hey, what are you doing? But this time, the guy answered the door with the gun, just like this suspect. The one guy, what's his name? Here, I got it right here. He was Seattle police fatally shoot alleged pedophile during brief standoff, and they showed the footage where the cops were. He was an ex. Let me see if I can find his name. The special suspect was 67. He was an ex-military man. He was in the Navy. He came to sleep with a 7 and 9-year-old. It was a sting operation. They opened up the door, and when he saw the police,
I saw that one. Actually,
he whipped the gun out, and the cops had to do it, and they shot him.
That's a totally different ball game right here. This person, he saw it was the police, and he went to go.
But he went and reached for his gun, and the cops rushed him. Now these cops, you know, they make quick decisions, life or death situations. They have to.
You have to.
Excuse me. The girls were 7 and 11 that he came to see at a DoubleTree hotel. You know what I'm saying? But they had to make a quick decision because if they didn't, they would have been dead. So this cop, you don't. All you hear, and
like 20-something.
You know, and I'm not one to defend police officers, but I mean, I have to go both situations. When you're told that you're going up to a domestic dispute and it's getting out of hand up there before you get there, your mind's already thinking this woman's getting beat up or someone's getting assaulted. So you're already going. You're already ready to go.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, and then if he got a gun in his hand, you don't know if he's holding this person hostage.
You don't know if he shot her yet or not.
It almost gets to the point to when you're having to like go off of who's giving you the information.
Yeah,
like these people they may have given false information to him about and sent him to the wrong door. Now he's facing, you know, possible manslaughter charges, all kind of stuff because of the lack of information that he truly had.
Yeah, like I mean, for this one, I can't hold it against the cop because he didn't open it. He didn't open the door and just see a black dude and shot him. He opened the door. He saw
a gun.
He saw a gun in his hand.
He did. You know, what I mean, I got him. Like I say, this one.
I mean,
right here
you like after it's like watching a replay in sports. You know, you're like, oh, why would he do that? Why would he throw this? I would have done this, but that's Monday us having time to look at it. We're not acting in real time.
That's called Monday morning quarterbacking right there.
Yeah,
really. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, we got to learn. I want to see this one develop. I know Attorney Ben Crump's on the case right now, trying to. He's a prolific black lawyer who's very much an activist lawyer who takes care of business, and if there's anything to be had out of this, fleshed out of this, he'll get to the bottom of it. And so, you know, let's look forward to seeing how this case resolves itself instead of us just kind of jumping on and piling on to what's could have possibly been an accident.
Yeah, it could have been. I mean, he had to think quick thinking. I mean, I can't look at. I watched the video and I can't say he did that because he was black. No, he just saw. The guy answered the door. He thought it coming to a domestic dispute. The man answered the door with a gun. It's what the cop's supposed to do. Yeah, that's what your training is for.
Absolutely.
You know, so I can't knock him for that. But